What's up, guys? So today we're going to be going over the deadlift in this video. So I'm going to be telling you about things you should be doing, like tips, any kind of advice, and most common questions that were asked about the deadlift. Should you be performing sumo? Should you be doing conventional? Where should your hips be? Hand placement, over-under grip, straps. We're going to be going through it all in this video, so you'll definitely be able to increase your deadlift. Overall power and strength will definitely increase if you start improving your form. And you'll also be able to do this a lot safer, so there'll be less chance of injury and less downtime from training. So I'm about to head over to the gym right now. I gotta go pick up my buddy Kenny, and we're about to hit a pool day.
Like the jacket?
Yeah, it's nice and warm.
Yeah, my protein, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when'd you get it?
It's like puffer. I got it like in the beginning of summer, but like it really wasn't useful.
Yeah.
So
obviously.
like only when it started getting colder I started wearing it.
I saw you wearing it last night. How was that?
Look at that, everything is dead. Squat racks are all open, all free weights.
So what kind of form should you pull? Should you pull conventional? Should you pull sumo? When I first started having Kenny start deadlifting, he was pulling conventional because that's pretty much like the base common, it's the conventional pull. He was giving that a shot. He was having a lot of back rounding and issues with that. He has longer legs than torso. Pulling conventional with long legs is going to be putting you at a disadvantage and can cause you to round your back a lot and your hips shoot up. You can fix that form and you can still pull conventional with long legs, but it's going to be a little more difficult because it's a longer range of motion. We switched Kenny over to a sumo deadlift, able to limit the range of motion a little more by opening up his hips and spreading his legs. And because he has long arms, that's going to help him even more with his sumo pull. Conventional is a lot more simple in terms of technique compared to sumo. Sumo has a lot more technique and a lot more form that you have to worry about to perform it correctly and efficiently. So that's the flip side. First, before we even get into the actual movement itself, I just want to talk about footwear and what you should be wearing during deadlifts. And this can even branch over to squats. It's a little different. Running shoes, any running shoes like that, slides, anything. No, you don't want to be wearing anything that's compressible. Running shoes, they're squishy. They compress underneath pressure. That's not helping you in any way when you're trying to exert pressure into the floor to lift up a weight. Anything that's compressing, you're losing power out of that. If you don't have any flat-soled shoes like Converse or even Vans, you could probably get away with. If you don't have any flat-soled shoes, no shoes at all is the next best thing. You could also get deadlift shoes, which I don't know the price range, but I'm sure they're around $100, $150. I'll probably link some deadlift shoes in the description. Or you could also go with wrestling shoes. I personally use wrestling shoes. I don't have them on me at the moment. I lost them during a move. I gotta dig them out of some box somewhere. Wrestling shoes are really helpful as well because they're grippy. They grip the ground, your feet won't slide, and they're completely flat. We're gonna be pulling and deadlifting in just socks today, no shoes, to prevent any power loss. So next we're gonna talk about stretching. Since you need to have open, wide hips, you wanna make sure your hips are warmed up and ready to go for heavy pulling. Not being warmed up, you won't be able to open up your hips wide enough to properly get a good angle, and that could force you to have to bring your feet in more, and you're increasing the range of motion the closer your feet are. Everyone's different. You don't have to start out extremely wide. Honestly, I don't prefer to be too wide of a stance. I like a moderate stance, but my hips are completely wide and I have enough flexibility to where in my pull, I can bring my hips forward and in between my chest and my knees, or my chest and my feet. few important stretches that I just did were hip flexor stretches. So I had my one knee, my one leg pressed up against my chest. I switched to the other one. I did butterfly stretches. I did mountain climber stretches. Doing all those stretches helps loosen up your hips so that you can open up your hips more when you're pulling sumo. So we're gonna get into the pulls right now.
All right, set up, Kenny. The issue here is that you don't want your knees to be caving in like that. You want to be completely open. Yeah, so that looks a lot better. You want your shin to be completely perpendicular to the floor when you're pulling. Go for it.
As you start approaching heavier and heavier weight, you're gonna start to realize your grip is slipping. If you stay at a double overhand grip, which is 2 hands over the bar, you'll definitely have some slippage if you don't use straps. If you choose to not use straps because they aren't legal in competition, you can go with an over-under grip or a hook grip. Hook grip is painful at first, but eventually your thumbs do get used to it. And it's very beneficial because you're able to maintain a more upright posture throughout your deadlift because you don't have to go over-under where you're sacrificing a little length because of the twist in the arm. If you plan on competing, I would highly suggest learning hook grip. Deal with the pain for a little while, your thumbs will get used to it. If you don't care about competing and you just want to deadlift for your own personal reasons and you just want to get stronger, or maybe you're not sure about competing, you can use straps once you get into the heavier weights and your grip starts failing. You can always train grip in other areas when you're doing back movements and pull movements, so it's not a huge issue. You can also pull over-under grip, which is one arm under the bar, one arm over the bar. You lose a little bit of range of motion, but your grip will hold up a lot better with over-under grip. The only downside to that is that you may be training unevenly and you could develop some kind of uneven lat development or shoulder development. You could have some pain in one shoulder. It all depends. Some people don't have any problems, some do. A lot of great powerlifters pull over underhand. A lot of great powerlifters pull hook grip. So it's completely up to you in your opinion. If you do choose hook grip and you want to compete competitively, the pain will go away. It's just I don't compete extremely competitive, so hook grip hasn't been on the table for me recently. If I choose to compete in powerlifting, I will take the time to learn hook grip. All right, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna voice over some of my deadlifts and just talk about it then, or I'll talk about it now. So you'll see during the deadlifts, key form points that you should keep in mind. Now, your foot placement is one essential role in pulling a good sumo deadlift is having good foot placement. You'll want your shin to be completely perpendicular. So parallel is even with each other, perpendicular, they intersect. Completely creates like a perfect plus sign. So you want to have your shin be like the top of that plus sign, completely perpendicular from the floor. So depending on how wide you can open your hips determines how wide you can place your footing. Because if you go too wide and you can't open up your hips enough to where your shin is completely perpendicular, it'll look more tilted in, and you don't want that. Only way to keep your shin perpendicular with the floor is if you can open up your hips and create that. If you can't do that, you need to bring your footing in slightly. You want to have a nice perpendicular shin on nice perpendicular shin to the floor. Next is to avoid any internal hip rotation. I'm gonna show you a clip right now of me deadlifting, what proper form should look like, how the knee should move compared to what it shouldn't look like moving.
Disqualified.
So you can see how my knees stayed in place. There wasn't any bending in of the knee. They pretty much stayed in the same spot from when I started. You're looking for either they stay in the same spot or they slightly tilt out. You don't want your knees to cave in during the deadlift. That is a power loss. As for the pulling, you want to have a completely flat back, which I will show a clip of now. There's there's actually 3 types of grips if you count straps, but there is the strapped pull, which is just a double overhand. You have straps tied underneath the bar, double overhand, right about shoulder width. Now you can also pull an over-under grip. You want to still have it shoulder width. This will increase your range of motion and can also lead to muscle imbalances if done long term. So I would suggest, if you aren't competing for any competitions, to pull double overhand straps. If you are competing for any competitions, you would want to work on hook grip. Hook grip basically is thumbs underneath and then hand is hooked over the thumb. This is the most optimal grip, but the only downside is that it is pretty painful and it takes a little while to get used to. Eventually your thumbs will adjust and you won't feel the pain, but when you're first doing it for the first couple months, it does hurt. Double overhand strapped, over underhand, or hook grip. Try to include these tips into your next deadlift session. Think about what you could be doing wrong, what feels wrong, and try just messing with your stance and your form and trying to improve it. Just try what feels right, try conventional, try sumo, see what you prefer, and go from there. But I think I covered everything. If I did miss anything, be sure to leave a comment. I'll definitely get back to you. And if this actually did help you out with your deadlift, like the video. If we can get 2,000 likes, I'll put out your most suggested video for improving strength. So say like a bench video or a squat video or over press video or a shoulder improvement video. You name it, just throw it in the description or in the comment section and let me know. So 2,000 likes, guys. Let's see if we can get it. I'm gonna continue on with the rest of my workout. Belts. You out of here?
No.
All right. Catch you later, bro. Good workout.
It's been real.
All right, so belts. What kind of belt should you get? You'll see in gyms they have these standard, like thin to thick back belts. You don't want to have something like that if you're trying to improve your strength and get stronger. Invest in something like this. This is a Inzer power belt. It is the lever, so it's quick on, quick off. To adjust it, you just have to have a little screwdriver, unscrew these and move it wherever you want. Small downside with that, but it is quick on and off, easy to get on, easy to get off, always a consistent tightness, and you never have to worry about ever changing it unless you like a different tightness on a different workout, or you're going through a bulk and you're getting heavier and you need to loosen it, or you're losing weight and you need to tighten it. But I've rarely ever have to change this. It's normally a consistent size for me. Maybe one notch down or one notch up every once in a while. Belt tightness, don't make it so tight that you can barely breathe in it. The point of a belt is to fill your stomach with air, fill your belly, don't breathe through your chest, fill your stomach with air, and brace your core to make it tight. It should be moderately tight on your stomach, but it should be comfortable. But once you fill yourself with air and brace your core, it'll get tight enough to where it's working efficiently. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description for the belt as well if you're interested. They go for around $100. Shipping for these can take a while if you get a specific color. If you order just black, it'll come. Mine came in like 5 days from ordering black. But if you get like a red or a purple or a yellow or any different colored belt, it might take up to 2 weeks, 3 weeks roughly. So honestly, I just wanted it quick. I don't care about the color, so I went with black. There is one that is a prong. I find that it's too annoying and difficult to tighten it to where you want it to be and to do that consistently, and then to take it off after you're set, after you're already drained. It's just an inconvenience to me, so I prefer just the quick lever on and off. And when should you get a belt? You can invest in a belt at any time, although I'd suggest at least working up to 3 or 4 plates before you start using a belt. Get at least past a 225 hump if you aren't already. And then you can start using a belt. So I think that's everything. I went over belts, shoes, hand positioning. Again, let me know if I missed anything. All right, back to the workout. So as I'm going through my deadlift workout, I'm like thinking of other things that I probably could have talked about throughout the video. Deadlift's actually improving strength and getting stronger at it. It's just going to take time. There's really no quick route to it. It entirely depends on like how consistent you are deadlifting and how conditioned you can get your central nervous system. Deadlifts don't need a lot of volume. You don't need to train them a ton to get stronger at it. Just training them consistently and pulling heavy and pulling what you're capable of with good form is what will yield results. So again, as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about more things I should probably say. This is probably coming into a very long video for just talking. What I've learned personally with deadlift injuries is that you need to be careful what you're doing when you're pulling heavy weight. 2 main things to help prevent injury is don't jerk the weight off the floor. Don't rip it off the floor. Pull the slack out of the bar and then apply pressure so that you're bouncing down and coming up. You want to have a smooth movement upward. When you jerk it off the floor like that, it puts a lot of strain on your lower back and can throw your form off completely. A similar thing is when you're locking out, don't overextend. Don't bend your back extremely far back, more than you'd need to. Just stand straight up, have your knees locked, back neutral, straight in the air. That's all you need to do. You don't need to hyperextend. You're not going to make any more gains from it. You're not getting any more use out of it. You're just putting your back in an uncomfortable situation and could possibly injure yourself.
Watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me. Bitch, I'm kicking through the door. Let's go. 818, HOP, bet on me. You gon' see, ain't no thing, bitch, I'm on. Bitch, I'm kicking through the door. Yeah, 818, HOP, bet on me. Prodigy, when I hit the track, bitch, I'm gone. I'm gone. Yeah, homie G, the code MC, rolling deep to your vicinity. Yo. I just had an epiphany, I don't know what it did to me, but I'm hoping the devil doesn't get into me. Still a beast hoops, it is me, it's finna be off the chain with a brand new delivery. Try to get in my way, the feeling the rage, to sit in my brain, and then I blast you to smithereen. Nigga, please, I'll be damned if I'm thrown on the back burner. Fucking maniac purge in a rap server, the cat burglar who be committing mass murder. That's word at the G.O.D., fucking the game from the P.O.V. Niggas begging, they plead on knees, I'll be no peace, the D.O.G. I feed on beats, if niggas wanna die, they can lean on me. No bill with us, you pee, I done built it up. You wishing you was on the field with us. I'm the ill nigga, no deal, look at me grill, niggas fucking with me, then I will erupt. Still we must remain calm. Nate Palm in my dang palm, I'm a dark villain like Blaze Spawn, an Akon with a cape on. It ain't fun, you can't run. This is a horror flick your life is based on. I ain't gon' say that I'm running shit, that's the shit every rapper saying think about. Nigga just go in and look at the bank account. I just don't have enough patience to take it out. Niggas is hate now, I don't suffer from no paper drought. Always win is my favorite route. My whole life I just lay it out. Being around me's a blessing, so boy you should take a bow. Look, I'm about to make this bitch jump. Watch me. Take a look, take a look. Watch me. I'm shut shit down. Watch.
So I finished up my pull day. I did a 6x3 with 495, or I'm pretty sure I did 6 sets. I might have did one over or one under, but whatever. I'll look back at the tape and I'll figure it out. But I did my pulls.
I did my hypertrophy. I came in at around 2:30, almost 3, and I just got out at 5:47. So normally pull days take this long. Deadlifts normally take an hour and a half to get done, and then my accessory work is another 45, maybe an hour. For optimal muscle and strength progress, training at the gym for 2 hours, hitting an intense session of hypertrophy and oh my god, intense strength training session for your main lift, whether it's squat, bench, deadlift, if you overhead press, it's going to take a bit. But if you do that consistently, day in and day out, results will come. I appreciate for all of you that made it to the end of the video. If you want to see more like this, remember to give it a like, thumbs up, leave a comment if you have any questions, anything I missed or you want to know about. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.